What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to SHOPcast. It's episode 101. That's crazy, dude. That's absolutely nuts. This was Chris, your pick, right?
Yep.
This is a movie called Female Prisoner 701 Scorpion.
I feel like you need to say that in the Mortal Kombat voice. Female Prisoner 701
Scorpion. Fatality. Anyways, this is from like 73. It's a Japanese flick. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a women in prison movie. Yeah, so this was Chris's pick, man. What made you pick this? Because I don't even think I asked you. I just was like, sure. It sounded cool to me.
Like I'd been kind of getting deeper into the Japanese. So I've always been into like
we're all falling deeper into our little crevices. I can see it happening from afar. Like the shit I'm getting into is just absurd. Like I'll explain in a minute. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So I started watching some of like the Pinku stuff. And
I'm interested in that stuff too.
I ended up picking up this box set from Arrow on one of the sales. So it's just been sitting on my shelf. It's like I need to watch these. And you've been kind of getting into the exploitation stuff a little bit more. So like perfect time for this.
Yeah, I'm like diving in for some reason lately, man. I don't know. I've always had it. I've always owned some of it, but like lately I've been like really balls deep in this stuff, man. I've been getting like super into blaxploitation stuff because I feel like it's something I can relate to more because it's from my country. It's people that I used to be around and live with. Like that's what they watched. Like I've seen a bunch of them just being in the neighborhoods I lived in. Like it's just because that's what their mom and dad watched. So when we went over their house on a Sunday or a Saturday to hang out, that's what they watched. And when I went over to my buddy's house to hang out, he was a little older than me. I think my I don't want to say nobody's names, but my guy out in Third Ward, man, he's probably in his mid 50s now, man. I was hanging out with him. I was in my mid 20s. So, it was a different thing. That's what he watched. And what's up, Jamie? How you doing? Oh shit. There it is. What's up, JJ? How you doing, man? But yeah, so that's what I watched. So I don't know, man. Lately, I've just been getting really into it. I like the actors, really, is what it is. Fred Williamson and Pam Grier, two of the people that I just like them a lot, and so they just happen to be two of the bigger stars from that genre. But this Japanese stuff, bro, woo! I was going to ask you. Well, what I was fixing to ask before I said let's just go ahead and talk about it was which one of y'all have already got the box set ordered? Because as soon as I watched this first movie, I started looking for the movie. I didn't know it was a box set. So
there's 4 of them.
Yeah, you told me that there was a bunch of movies, but I didn't even think about the fact that it was probably all lumped into one thing if I wanted to order it. So Josh, did you order this yet or no?
I haven't ordered it yet, no. But I did enjoy it.
Just curious. No, that would tell me a lot about about your feelings on it if you already ordered it.
No, but I did put the rest of them on my watch list. They're all on Shudder, so I'll probably check them out. And from what I read, the sequels actually get better. Or at least the next sequel is supposed to be better than this one.
So you want to hear something fucking stupid? So I watched them on Tubi because Shudder wasn't on my TV in the living room. Okay. And for some reason I can't get it on my TV in the living room. It doesn't make any sense. But they have 1, 3, and 4, not number 2. So okay. I've seen 1, 3, and 4 now.
Oh, you watched all 3. You watched 3.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm telling you, I wasn't feeling very well. So I was like, screw it, I'll just keep watching movies. And then, the first one, I enjoyed it a lot. And I was like, okay, cool. So I don't know if the second one's better than the first one or not, but 3 and 4 are pretty good.
I doubt it really matters.
Well, okay. Have either of y'all seen any? Josh, you haven't. Chris, have you watched it?
No, I've only seen the first one now.
I want to set the correct expectations in. 3 and 4 are not anything like number 1. Nothing. They're nothing like it at all.
Okay.
They have same characters. That's what it's about. Is that girl?
Right.
But they're good. That's all I'm going to say about it. Is they're not like because I watched it thinking it was going to be at least similar, so I was a little caught off guard. And
seemed like I was kind of looking at it after we watched it, or after I watched it, and it seemed like that she wasn't like in prison in the later ones. Yeah.
I think I knew that too.
Okay, I had no clue. So because it's still called like female prisoner, and I was like, all right, sweet. So what's she doing now?
Well, I think after the second one, the first 2 are called Female Prisoner 701. Okay. And then the third and the fourth one are called Female something. So I think they changed it up a little bit. I must have just
misread it. I was reading through it kind of fast. And I'll tell you though, I enjoyed the second, the third and fourth one quite a bit. They are different, but I liked them. And the third one, it's gonna drive me nuts. I gotta go watch this on Shutter tonight. But that should tell you how good this movie is, people. If you haven't seen this yet, I watched 3 of them in one sitting. Like I didn't even get up to go to the bathroom at one time. I just watched them all. The opening to number 3 is awesome. So I hope you guys get to watch this soon because I think you'll dig it.
Okay.
And Chris, that you got the box set, I'm a little jealous. So I want to get it. I didn't know anything about it. I like women in prison stuff. I like Japanese stuff. I thought this could be cool, but I should have just went and ordered it, man. I know it, had I realized it was an Arrow box set, I probably would have just ordered it because I like their stuff enough to where I kind of just blindly buy stuff from them. But anyways, let's talk deeper about the movie. So this is kind of I wrote some notes down, Chris. What do you think about it? You picked it. How'd you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. I mean, I didn't necessarily want to just pick a boring like Japanese drama samurai movie, but I was like, this is at least going to be fun, and it was.
Yes, I actually wrote quite a bit of notes. That's how I can tell if I'm interested in a movie. Did I actually take the time to like write some shit down? Because I don't usually do that. I like to just kind of let things be organic. But if I want to make a point to say something, I have to write down or I will forget. I want to just read the first thing I wrote, and then we'll continue talking about things because this does. To me, it matters. I just wrote down the very first thing I wrote. It says, this story's been told so many times, but the reason this movie stands out, in my opinion, is because of the imagination they used on how they told it. A lot of scenes reminded me of stage play more than film. I like the things that they did with it a lot.
Yeah, it's very stage bound for sure.
Yeah. So So I wrote that down because I wanted to talk about that, man. This movie, look, man, I'm just go. It's incredible, dude. I loved it. Like it's like amazing. It's probably a 9.5 or 10 for me. Like it's
nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like
I'm glad you liked it so much. I was kind of bummed when
Hugh,
I was kind of bummed when Hugh couldn't make it.
Yeah,
I knew for sure he was going to be the one that liked it with me. I figured y'all both would like it too, but I was hoping Hugh would be my backup just in case.
This really does cross the lines into the stuff I already like. So
yeah,
it just needed to be interesting enough for me to stay attentive, and I was going to dig it. But this one, it crossed that way across it because there were so many little bitty things that I'm hoping Josh is going to bring up because it was stuff that I was thinking of Josh immediately. Oh shit, I bet Josh thought this was awesome. Like the weird stuff with like the lighting when it changed and it was just telling you that, hey, a mood change is happening. Mm-hmm. It was very little dialogue. If you think about it, there wasn't a lot of dialogue in this movie.
Yeah, and that's some interesting camera work and
like weird, like
a lot of tilting cameras and spinning cameras and stuff.
Not to say that it was necessarily good, but I mean for the time, I don't think most.
The spinning thing got me a little bit, but other than that, I thought everything was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think they were doing a lot of that stuff probably in the early 70s.
Yeah,
it was 73, wasn't it?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's old, bro. 72 or 73 is a long time ago, man.
I don't think they were doing a lot of that. So even though it wasn't like super good, like it was kind of new at the time, I imagine. Maybe I'm completely off.
Is this one of those ones Tarantino talks about a lot?
I don't know about specifically, but I'm sure it's one. Like it's
dude, I saw so much Kill Bill in this movie.
Yeah, I mean like Lady Snowblood and I mean
I saw as much Kill Bill in this as I did in Lady Snowblood, personally.
Okay.
That's just what I thought. I thought, oh, he probably pulled these ideas from this movie, or I guess something like it. But it sure felt Tarantino-ish to me.
Well, I think because the main actress is also a musician. Like
really?
The end song in the first movie,
at
least was her singing.
Oh, that's cool.
So she's got a bunch of albums, and I think Tarantino has used some of her music.
I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Kill Bill.
The song actually is what may remind me of Tarantino.
Yeah,
like the
song reminded me of Chris of James Bond.
Yeah, it was James Bondy a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with Tarantino, doesn't
it? Yeah, but there's definitely some stuff in Kill Bill that sounds just like that.
Yeah, but I think he actually did use one of her songs in the soundtrack, if I remember correctly. I don't own the Kill Bill soundtrack. I probably should go get it.
Hey, I want to just take a time to say hi to everybody. Little Rivers, Julie, what's up? Aaron, hey, how you doing? If we don't stop and acknowledge your comments, please don't think we're ignoring them on these live streams like this. We kind of just keep it rolling. But I just want to say hi, what's up? And September 27th, that's crazy. Like that's a month away, right? It's August. Yeah, August. I was like, what month is it? Damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about this right now, Lil Rivers. We're talking about a very specific movie. That's what this show is about. It's about the movie, but at least not right now. We can address it after we talk about this movie first.
Terrifier.
I mean, if you want to, yeah, sure. True Romance is my favorite movie of all time. But yeah, I just didn't want to be like an asshole and just ignore that you asked the question. But I'm just trying to keep this one on schedule until we get done with the movie we're talking about, and then we can just do whatever we want. But okay, so the synopsis of the movie is kind of simple. It's what I was saying. This movie's been told a million times. This story, rather, it's a girl that goes to prison for some fuckery with her fella. Her dude's not really her. Yeah, her dude sets her up. He's a scoundrel, man. He's a shithead. And y'all said scoundrel, bro. What?
And he's a cop.
But oh man, I haven't done anything all week, dude. You can tell. But yeah, man. She goes to prison. I'll tell you what, man. There was a lot of cool shit in this movie that I was like, wow. I was a little surprised. Like it's a more horrific movie than you would think just off the top, because at one point the women in the prison are like, they're all bad girls. They're shitheads. They're troublemakers. And so the guards don't like them, and they're assholes too. So you got a powder keg willing, ready to explode at any moment. And so they're having to punish these women, right? But this isn't the 70s, dude. Things aren't like they are now. And so at one point, they just tell them to go outside and start digging. And all of them, like 40 women, dig these like burial deep holes. And they're like, all right, fill them back up.
Yeah.
What? All right, never mind. Dig them back out. What the man? And
that was one of the things I noted. It was just, dig this hole, fill in the hole, dig the hole,
bro.
fill this big hole.
Like what? So what people don't understand in 2022 is if you don't give somebody a reason to not want to do something they shouldn't do, they're gonna do it. Well, if you told me I was going to dig a hole that was 5 by 7 by 6, then fill it back up, and then dig it again, and then fill it back up for stealing a bunch of shit, I already don't want to go to jail, bro. I'm not stealing nothing, dude. Like, I'm not digging those holes, bro. You may as well just shoot me in the head. I'm not doing it. But like, I mean, how much wasted energy and time is that? Like, that's what you're doing, is you're literally wasting your life because you did something wrong. So like, that's punishment, man. That's what that is. It's just a punishment. It's not a rehabilitation. It's as much psychological punishment as it is physical. Facts. Yeah. It's just, and that one girl's like, my hands are like, oh well, like, too bad. Yeah. Dude, that girl was conniving. The Matsu, she like dug the hole by that girl's foot. She falls in there. Bing. Like, what?
And tripped the girl in the beginning and dumped that like hot boiling soup all over her face.
Yeah, bro, this movie's so awesome, dude. Oh my god, I got so much shit I want to talk about in this movie. Well, because I got to go back to like the original Randy talk, because this shit is. I said if I don't bring this up, I'm selling myself short. So I put. When she's in the hole and the undercover cop was talking to her and she started fooling around with her, the only thing I could think was how absolutely awful that must have smelled and tasted. Because with no regular showers and grooming, I said, I mean, I'm down for a party, but goddamn, that's rough. And I said, but didn't she basically assault that girl? She said no stop like a dozen times. I said, #me too. But yeah, like all of a sudden that girl was like in love with her. Like, I don't know, bro. That shit was awesome. Like, it was so made for a man. Like, that was so made for us.
I mean, the whole movie is.
Yes, but like that specific spot, because there wasn't a whole lot of gratuitous nudity in the movie, to be honest. It was a bunch of tits, that's it. There wasn't like a bunch of full frontal stuff. There was no penetration of any kind. But it was like, that was like the scene where like every dude was like, oh, there we go. Some girl on girl shit. And you're like, bro, come on, dude. But it was, all I could think about was like, yo, you ain't showered in how long? Like, nasty, dude. Why would you do that?
And that's the 70s.
Dude, Afro
no
buff,
grooming.
Yeah, man. That the whole movie was good though, because there was so much like backstabbing. I liked that she was about that life, bro. Like, she was not budging. Oh shit. It's called Female Prisoner 701 Scorpion. It's a early 70s Japanese exploitation, women in prison type flick. Well, not type flick, and it's awesome. Oh shit, man! I'll tell you right now, if you start talking shit about this movie, I will just flat out block it, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm not arguing with you today. Not today.
Even I thought this movie was pretty awesome by the end of it. Like,
it just had a lot of interesting stuff. But
it's silly, but
it took me about halfway through to like really like click with it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, for a little bit, I was just like not jiving with it, but I think it was around the time when they're like digging the whole.
So 4-piece, I think, quadrilogy. Sorry.
Yeah, 4, I think.
That I started really enjoying it. I think the moment actually was when the lady swings the shovel at the cop or the prisoner, and it like completely misses him, and then blood squirts out, and I just started.
Okay.
I like spit out my drink. It was so funny.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was the only thing about it. Okay, it has to be a 9.5. It can't be a 10 because there was like 4 fight scenes in it where the guy would swing, it would miss him by 8 inches, but not hitting out.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I actually liked, though. I thought that was hysterical.
No, I enjoy that stuff too because it's the 70s, man. They didn't know how to do the stuff they know how to do now, and but they love this shit, man, and they were working hard on this movie. That's a big cast. I kept thinking about that the whole time. It's like, man, all these people had to be involved in every scene, dude. They were all of them, man. Yeah. I like the one guy with like the kind of long hair. He was clearly a bad guy. The you know, talking about the guard. He was like the one that looked like a henchman.
The guy, the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, I mean, and there was a lot of women in the prison,
dude. If you rewatch the first one, it's good, man. I've watched 3 of them already, man. They're really good. I mean, we have pretty different opinions on movies, I think. So you may not care about it as much as I do, but yeah. I mean, I like the part when they were like fighting in the shower, and she's chasing the main chick. I don't remember her name, but he smashes the glass on the door, and she's chasing her around. And then she goes to stab her, and she moves out the way and stabs the dude in the face. The main guy. She's like, "Caca!" And the rest of the movie, he has just like a weird like lump on the side of his eye. Well, there was cool stuff in the movie, like these really, really like cruel scenes that I really thought were like they were scary, man. Like, okay, I've been to jail, never been to a prison. I can only imagine what it's like to be in a place where not only do you not have any control over what's going on, they can literally just put you in a room and leave you there, and ain't nothing going to happen. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to come get you. Nobody's going to care if you eat. And so, so at one point she's in this like dank basement hole area, and she's oh man, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But like, she's laying in this basement hole area, and it's like really wet, and there's like water on the ground at one point. There's dripping everywhere, and that one lady comes in, and she's like, "Hey, you hungry?" And she's just kind of looking at her, and I was like, "Oh, this bitch about that life, bro. She don't give a fuck." And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna feed you like a dog," and she pours the food on the floor, and you're like, "Oh, that's fucked up, bro. Not even a bowl." And she's like, "Well, I'm not gonna eat it then." And then the girl's like, "Are you cold?" And I was like, "Oh man, what's happening?" And she's like, "I'll help you." And she gets a wet ass blanket and puts it on her. I was like, "Oh my god, this is such a cruel movie, dude." Like, they hog tie her, hang her up, beat the shit out of her with a bunch of stuff for like a half hour,
burning her with a light bulb
in her vagina.
Yeah,
bro,
that was
what you doing? Don't burn that spot, like, man. But yes, dude, there was so much cool shit in this movie that I'm 100% getting the box set. I still don't know when. I don't know if I can afford it right now. Maybe I have to wait a couple weeks, but I will be getting it.
Wait for a sale or something. But
oh yeah, I guess I could do that, but I'm pretty impatient.
Yeah, it wasn't too expensive.
I know, dude. Dude, we're all dumbasses to our own extent. I'm really dumb in this way, but don't think logically for me, man. Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't make sense, Josh. But
it wasn't too expensive.
No, I think I saw a brand new copy of the box set for like $50. I don't know how much it costs normally, but I thought that wasn't too crazy for 4 movies.
Yeah, I think I paid like 40.
Yeah, if I can get it for $10 more than the sale price, I'm not too concerned. If it was like 75, I probably couldn't swing it right now. But I liked it enough to where I told Carissa, "Hey, we need to watch this together because I want to see what she thinks." Because she's starting to lean into the stuff that I like too a little bit, and like exploitation, like modern stuff, she probably won't care about much. I still like it. Y'all would probably hate most of the stuff that I would consider modern exploitation, but like this more classic stuff that you can consider a cult classic or a movie that's got some relevance in other ways than just it was a 70s, Japanese exploitation flick. I think she likes that stuff too, to a certain extent. And I really would like to get her opinion on this, even if it's just between her and I. And but I want to watch it again pretty soon. I liked it that much, and I think there's stuff that I missed because I wasn't really feeling well for the first few hours when I was watching TV today, and I was definitely closing my eyes. I wasn't going to sleep, but I was like sitting there like, oh man, I had like nausea. And you know how sometimes you get where you just anything moving, you're like, nuh-uh, I'm gonna puke. Yeah. And so I kept like closing my eyes for a minute here and there. So I think I like missed little bits here and there that I want to go back and make sure that I capture. But I mean, I for a few minutes when it started, I wasn't sure because that 70s movie style is a specific style. It's got a specific look, the clothing, the camera, everything looks a very specific way from the 70s. And so sometimes I don't like that stuff. Lately, though, I've been getting more into it, and I want to rewatch movies from the 70s that I didn't like already. One of those being Rosemary's Baby. I want to give that a rewatch because I just tried the
60s, I think.
Is that 60s? Well, I just tried.
I think it's like 68.
I love you. I just tried Exorcist again. I don't even know what year that's from, but I'm going back to some older movies, like more slow burn type stuff that I don't normally, get into. I'm revisiting those in the hopes that I'll discover something that I didn't like before that I now do like. Something to come up in a little bit later I'll tell you about. But Exorcist wasn't for me, but I did try it again, and I was a little surprised I didn't like it more than I did. But going back to older movies, I'm just it worries me sometimes when I see the date and it's like 1973. I'm like, oh shit, that might be a swing and a miss for me because, well, they're paced different, man, but I think I'm just maturing as a fan of movies in general because I like a lot of stuff now that even 2 years ago I wouldn't have liked, which is, oh, dude, literally working on video reviews for that series because I liked it already. I love that shit, dude. My favorite movie is True Romance. That's how I discovered Sonny Chiba Street Fighter. I'm not going to act like I knew about it before. I watched that movie and was like, what's this? That looks awesome. And then I went and watched, I got the box set of that. So yes, that's hell yeah. Good.
Too, if you like these, check out the Lone Wolf and Cub series. I think they're a little bit better, but if you haven't watched them all, there's 5, I think.
I haven't watched all of them, but I've seen the first 2.
The first one, like the third one, fourth one, I think are the best.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
I need to go back. I need to get that box set too.
Yeah, those are really good. They're fun. They're a little less silly, but they still definitely have some cool over the top exploitation.
Very spurty blood and stuff like that.
That's my favorite shit from J-Han. But like my spectrum of enjoyment has gotten so much broader over the past few years. I think for all 3 of us, I'd say that we're all 3. And I think we all 3 have each other to thank for that because we've seen so many movies now that, well, like every few weeks I pick one that's basically a specialty of mine. I pick something that I like that I think y'all will like. Every now and then I have a bad run, but generally speaking, I pick out something that I'm pretty sure you'll like, and I don't really veer off that much, and I think y'all do the same. But stuff that I would never have picked is what y'all pick, and things that y'all would never pick is what I try to pick. And that helps us really, even if we get stuff like Bad Milo once a year, which I will guarantee that never happens again. God damn. At least you tried it,
Yeah.
At least you tried it.
If this was like 2 hours and change, I probably wouldn't have brought it up. But it was
the
nice.
length of this movie was a great.
Yeah, hour 28 or something like that, just shy of an hour and a half. It was like even if it's not super great.
Well, if you can watch 3 movies in less than 5 hours and they're all entertaining, that's a win for me, and that's exactly what I did because they're all about the same length. I thought that was actually one of the main keys to me going. You know what? I'll just watch them because I can do it all in an afternoon because it's my job. So I'm fortunate to be able to do this. But like I was able to play, and since the kids are in school, I didn't have them running around. It was pretty easy to not get interrupted and actually make it an 8-hour thing. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, man. I'm really glad we watched it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad everybody liked it. I was a little worried, but I'm not really surprised. I figured we'd all like it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I wrote one thing down that I want to ask because I want to make sure that I know what's going on, and I'm glad I wrote this down because I would have remembered it in an hour from now and been irritated. I feel like I missed something, but because when Yuki hit the guard and the riot went down, the one girl tried to shoot Matsu. Why'd she try to shoot her? Was it because they were mad at her because she was causing them to work, or was it just a hit put out on her head?
I mean, I think the girl that was supposed to do the hit, I think, just got.
That's what that was, though, right? It was like a hit put out on her, right?
But yeah, I think all of that was just because they were mad at her for making them do all the work.
We've already covered that on the show. That's what we know about it. Boom.
Yeah, we did that one.
But it's awesome, by the way.
Yes.
And the other one was Seventh Curse or whatever. Is coming soon, I think. I'm gonna make sure that gets.
Ooh,
yes.
Dude,
I got a list of movies for the SHOPcast for my pick. Got 3 of them on the board right now. So that's not even on the board yet. So I got some good shit coming, man. I got one movie coming that I guarantee you guys are gonna be stoked to watch. If you're not, I'm gonna be super bummed out. We'll just skip it, go to a different one. But it's my next pick in a couple of weeks. So
cool. Yeah, I have another one called Chinese Ghost Story. Have either of y'all heard of this?
Heard of it, have not seen it.
It's supposedly like a Seventh Curse story of Ricky.
Let's go.
Super
like
cheesy. That's coming up for me to watch pretty soon.
Nice.
I probably won't do it on the show just because I don't know what I'm really gonna get into with it, but I'm gonna check it out on my own time, I think.
Yo, last thing that I wrote down, I have to talk about this. When they had the riot in the jail and they took the hostages, the role reversal on the sexual assault was amazing and hilarious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I should say that on this channel, but it's funny, man, because because it should happen in movies, man. They do it to the other people. Why can't they do it to these people? Like, it's not very fair to do inclusion, man. That's what would happen in a jail like that. Them girls would rip them dudes apart.
Yeah.
And they were talking about ripping their balls off. I was like, oh shit, don't do that. At least don't show it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Have we covered House on this channel yet? On this show?
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't think so. House 1 and 2 is a good one, man. We might put that on the list. We got so much stuff to cover, though, man. I'll tell you this, man. Anybody, and this is not anybody's a Patreon member. You want me to do something? Let me know. I'll put it on the short list. Otherwise, we'll just put it on the master list, and we'll get to it when we can. But House 1 and 2, for sure, on my list of things to cover it eventually on this show. Those movies are amazing, dude. Yeah, absolutely. House 1 and 2 is the shit. But so, man, I already want to rewatch this because I watched it this afternoon and I've already forgotten shit because, well, my brain. What was your favorite part of the movie? Did anything stick out to you, basically, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, sorry, Maddie's crying in the background.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So that's why I was, but no, I think my favorite part was the big fight scene in the shower where the chick's chasing her and she's got the kabuki makeup on. And
so that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the movie. Also, I haven't played in a long time. Need to do that soon. Post Malone playing Magic the Gathering on YouTube. God, I love Magic the Gathering. Shit's fun. Yeah, but when I said something about the camera when it was changing moods and stuff, that's the scene that made me write it down. Was because I was like, yo, that's crazy, man. What a cool idea is that she changed faces, and it was only to symbolize that she's being insane. Because when it goes back, it's really just her chasing with the thing. I like that, dude. I don't see that stuff in American movies very often. I see that in Japan a lot. Like, their movies, they do shit like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty Japanese trait.
I think it's awesome, and I wish more people would do it. But I like the fact that it's something I can get from this style of movie. So. Or this place, this.
It's much more of a foreign type of thing. It's very, the expressionistic, style. You see that much more in foreign movies.
Man. I think my favorite part was probably. I liked whenever this is so fucked up. This is my favorite part, but it absolutely was. When they had her hog-tied and lifted up on that chain, and they were fucking her up, right? And then that one girl comes in and she's going to I didn't know what she was doing at first. She was dumping that shit on the floor. I was like, oh, she's going to burn her. And then they straight up throw a net over that bitch. They're like, nah, get her. Ah. And they hang her up and burn that bad bitch, dude. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy.
And she's screaming and it wasn't, it wasn't my fault. And I got tricked into
it and all this stuff.
And she just stands there and watches her.
I was bamboozled. But,
and to the end, whenever she goes and gets revenge on all the cops and everybody involved, that was awesome. When she throws the dude off the roof, and then they cut to the ground, and they zoom up to the building, and it's just clearly the fakest thing ever hanging there.
Oh, I thought that was awesome, dude.
It was awesome.
So actually, now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking about stuff that happened in 3 and 4. I really can't wait for y'all to watch those, just to talk about them, after we do our weekly movie or whatever, right? Because there's cool stuff that happened in those movies that I don't want to talk about yet, but there's really cool shit that I need to hear y'all's opinion on. And there is some cooler stuff that happens. It was it's not in a prison, so there's a whole bunch more shit that can happen. Not in a prison. But
yeah, definitely gonna watch them.
Josh, you might know more about this than Chris, maybe. I don't know. In movies like this, do they oftentimes rewrite shit when rain's fixing to happen so that they can have a scene that would fit with the rain? Or do they reproduce rain with like a machine of some kind that's where they film it a certain way and it's dropping water down? I think they do that sometimes, don't they?
I mean, yeah, that really varies movie to movie. I mean, something like this, I feel like it's a little bit more improvised.
Okay, that's what me and Chris were thinking. Based on the budgetary restraints of something like that, it would be almost impossible to try to make rain happen.
Right. Yeah, I doubt that they had a rain machine or anything like that. They're probably just going with whatever happens. Probably
because at one point in a different movie on the same series, there was a bunch of rain, and I just kept thinking, like, damn,
I mean,
this is really perfect for this rain. And I was
maybe. I mean, I imagine the budgets got a little bit bigger as they went along. If
possibly.
if the first one was successful, they probably gave them a little bit more money for the other one. So
sense.
maybe it was intentional in the other ones, but this one is very like their specific like style in certain moments, like we were talking about the cameras tilting and spinning and stuff like that. That's obviously a specific choice.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of stuff that just feels very like. They're just kind of moving the camera around in the moment and doing, whatever. They're just figuring it out. It's very kind of rough in that way.
You know what? That might not actually be true. I think in stuff like this, they probably have rewrites set aside. Hey, man, if we're doing this on site and the weather gets fucked, we got to go with this. Like, that's got to be something that happens in movies, right? Because it's so spontaneous. The weather is something you cannot really control. I mean, you can, at least now you can get kind of a couple weeks out. But even that's not guaranteed. But in the 70s, really didn't have the technology they have now.
I think in general, most sets they try and control it. But there's famous stories of like Coppola on Apocalypse Now, where like he would just go with whatever happened. Like if there was a torrential downpour, it was just like we're just gonna go capture this and see what happens. So it just depends on the movie.
Yeah. I guess there's probably not a very good blanket answer for some of these questions, huh?
Yeah, it really depends. But yeah, I mean, I think it got better and better as it went along. Like the last section, like right when she leaves the prison and then kills everybody off, that was probably my favorite part. But
yeah,
a lot of good action scenes.
There was so much like, I don't know. There was a lot of dread in this movie, but it was done so well. Like I'm surprised that it's this guy's first movie. I read it wrong, but it's his first movie, right?
I don't know.
I didn't check.
I'm pretty sure that's what I was reading online because I was looking for the way to watch it in the correct order.
Okay.
And I read that. I'm pretty sure it was his first movie, but like it felt like the guy that made it had some experience. I don't know if he made some short films or he's just a really good student. I don't know, man, but it didn't feel like a first movie to me. But we get those sometimes. We get a guy like Robert Eggers that comes in and just blows your fucking mind with his first movie.
Yeah.
So
it was his first movie.
Makes
what
sense.
is Time Crimes? I don't know, but it sounds amazing.
That sounds familiar.
I've heard of that, but I don't think I've seen it.
Dude, it just sounds like something that I would like to watch. Take that for what it's worth.
It's fairly recent, maybe like 2000s-ish.
Oh, word.
I think
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
French, I want to say.
$8,000 budget. Okay, that's my kind of movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2007.
Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rings a bell, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've definitely heard the title before. But
hey, Danny, didn't you used to work at Alamo Draft House on Mason Road? Unless I'm talking to the wrong Danny. I might be, but you said MTG, and I was like, I know this guy. I know who you are. That's my guy, dude. Anyways, so I mean, I don't really know what else to talk about in the movie. I really liked it. It was really good. I think that the length of it it benefited greatly from it not being too long, because it could have been a lot of sludge. I thought for a movie with very little dialogue, it was never boring. And that's kind of hard to pull off, because if there's nothing going on, you got to have somebody talking. There was always something happening.
Yeah.
Some kind of scheme was happening. Somebody was doing something they shouldn't have been doing. She was always trying to get out of some trouble. There was never a point where I was like, I can go do something and not worry about pausing it. It was always like, I was always entertained. And that's, dude, again, man, 70s, bro. I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised. Yeah, I work up there at the one in Los Terra now, Danny. That's why I was asking. I was just being, I don't know, nosy. Yeah, I fucking, I'm gonna stick with 9.5, dude. This movie's awesome. It was great. I'm so glad I watched it. I don't often get this surprised by a movie. I'm either like, yeah, I kind of thought it'd be like this, and yeah, a couple days a week bartending, but
yeah, this is definitely your style.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just enough camp to really make me like gung ho about it, but enough seriousness to keep me entertained and make me want to watch, sequels and things, and like investing some money into owning it. Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. The other ones, I can't wait for y'all to watch them.
Yeah.
I really thought y'all were going to do some of that. That's why I watched them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I hadn't had a whole lot of time this week, but I definitely want to. Now that I get this one out the way, I want to watch the other ones.
Oftentimes, Josh does that. He'll watch something and then watch either like the same series or like the same director. And so I was like watching it, and it was short, and I liked it a lot. I thought, man, I think these guys are going to like this movie too. They're probably going to watch a sequel. So I went to go find the second one. I couldn't find it. And I was like, screw it, man. I might not even watch the whole thing, so I'm tired. I don't feel really good. Because the number 4, I didn't watch most of it. I probably fell asleep through half that movie because I wasn't feeling well. But, yeah, man. It's...
Yeah. If I had known I was going to like it, I probably would have watched it earlier and tried to knock out some of the sequels. But
yeah,
it's been a busy week, and I wasn't sure.
It gives you something else to put on the list, something else that you're going to probably enjoy. It's hard to pick a movie when you have only a certain amount of time and you got 7 movies that you don't know if you're going to like any of them, and you're like, fuck, man, I have no idea about these things. I've never seen them. But you got one that's a sequel, and you've already heard, I've said it was decent enough to watch, so you're like, okay, I can confidently pick this and not waste my time.
I'll watch like the Lone Wolf and Cub series in like a week.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like once I got the first one out of the way, I was like, oh yeah, these are awesome. And I just watch one every other day or something like that.
They're all about 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, they're all also fairly short.
Yeah.
And
when I went off the grid on Sunday night, I'd already had a couple videos picked up and ready to go. So I actually didn't do shit this week. I haven't done anything all week. I've just taken a few days to myself and hung out with Chris a lot. And I watched a lot of movies, and I listened to a lot of podcasts, and I slept a lot. Like I slept a lot.
Good.
Yeah, dude, my eyes are burning because I scratched my left eye. I don't know what I did. I was like rubbing my eye, and I must have had something on my hand, and I scratched the living shit out of it, and it's just driving me nuts, man. But the other night I was up in the middle of the night because when I sleep a lot, I end up staying up all fucking night. And so, wait, what? The fuck are you talking about? That literally makes no sense. If your girl
watch them with her,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Do you hate vagina? But I watched. Oh, dude. So this is what I wanted to bring up: movies that I used to not like that I now think are pretty good, and I'm so fucking irritated that I have to admit this.
Okay.
But it is what it is, dude. I watched Snowpiercer again.
No.
Fuck my life, dude. I've hated on that movie for like 3 years straight.
Yeah, I've been a big defender of this movie. I don't think I'm like the only one that likes it.
No, dude. I watched it again, and I don't know why I changed my mind, but I really enjoyed it. And I was pretty irritated by that.
I did the same thing. I remember us talking. Dude, I remember us talking about it, and we both like were like kind of or negative on it.
Yeah.
But then after we watched Parasite and when we started getting into all the Bong Joon-ho stuff, I went back and watched it again. I was like, no, this is pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah.
Like, this was fun.
Real quick, Little Rivers, how many times have we had correspondence, man? Fucking message me. I'll give you a list of so many movies that you won't ever be able to finish it. All bangers, dude.
Watch all of the women in prison movies. Your
fucking right.
Girlfriend will love
Do not watch Bad Milo if you want to keep that girlfriend. That's my best advice.
Or Irreversible. Don't watch that one.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't watch that with her.
Yeah, don't do that.
Again, you said, I know about that movie, like not liking it and then liking it. Because I've done that with a few movies recently, and it's just, Yo, Mr. Right, is that the one with what's his name? The guy from Moon.
Sam Rockwell?
Yeah, Sam Rockwell and the Anna Kendrick. That movie's dope. Okay, So yeah, I watched Snowpiercer again, and I was like, I watched it because I thought I was going to be like, all right, cool, play, and fall asleep, right? But yeah, Mr. Right is badass, Danny. I don't know, dude. I did not like that. I've watched it 3 times now, and the first time I watched it, I thought I was going to like it because of who made it. I watched it, and was like, nope, that was terrible. I watched it again.
It's weird,
and I can't remember why I watched it a second time. But I thought, I think I might have just watched it again to see if I liked it. You know, because sometimes that happens. You watch something once, and then the second time you're like, oh, never mind. So I watched it a second time and was like, no, it sucks. And then they had that stupid show come out, and I was like, I'm not doing it. And then the other night, I was just like, bloop. Oh shit, I'm wrong again.
Yeah, I watched Snowpiercer when it first came
because I want to
out.
hate Chris Evans, dude, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But yeah, I watched it when it first came out. Before I saw, I think that was my first Bong Joon-ho movie. It's kind of different from
mine. Was the monster one, the host.
Oh, the host, yeah. But I didn't really know who he was. The movie got a little bit of buzz, so I watched it and loved it. And a lot of people I know did not like it.
That's very true. I love that guy because that was it, but I also hate him. And yes, he's fucking way too good looking. Fuck that guy. And Luke Rockhold. Fuck him too. All these handsome bastards.
But yeah, I'm glad you came around on it because I've been feel like I've been defending this movie.
I had to tell you, I was like, man, I'm gonna get so much shit for this. But I was like, I watched it and I couldn't believe it. I got all the way to the fucking end and was like, this is great. What the fuck? Dude, that like there was a lot of cool shit in it, man. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah. You want to hear something
it's a weird
really
movie.
Crazy? Check this shit out. So we all can agree that Halloween Kills is probably like the worst horror movie to come out. Well, top 3 worst horror movies to come out in quite some time, man. It's just absolute garbage. So I listen to Audible every day. With my subscription comes a certain amount of free books. And Halloween and Halloween Kills was put on there for free, but it was a adaptation of the movie. And out of just morbid curiosity, I picked Halloween because I do like the 2018 Halloween movie. So I was like, all right, if nothing else, I can check this out. And I just want to see how close it is to the movie. So I listened to it, and I really enjoyed it because I really enjoyed that movie. And I was like, shit, that was awesome. And I was like, ooh, I wonder how bad this one is. And I'm an idiot, so I was like, all right, I got to try it. And I'm like halfway through it right now, and I can tell you this, it's nowhere near as bad as the movie.
I was going to say, it's probably pretty good.
They took out so much of the garbage shit from the movie. The bad acting's not in this. Evil Dies Tonight, it said maybe twice in the whole movie, the whole book. Dude, that helps it by a margin I can't even explain, dude. But no, it's way better than the movie. Like, I wouldn't recommend you go read it necessarily. It doesn't cost anything. So if you have Audible and you got some time and you're bored, pick it up, man. But yeah, it's funny how much better it is than the movie.
They probably give like proper context to like things that don't make sense in the movie.
There was definitely some context added to it that I was like, oh, that's why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also the only knock I have on it is that there's a couple of kills that happened in the movie that I distinctly remember that when they happened in the book, they didn't go into near enough detail. Because in the book, dude, you want them to be like, and then that motherfucker came bursting out the right side of his head, brain spilled out. Dude, no, I want to hear some gruesome, grotesque shit in these books. And it was a little tame for me on that because the movie was not. The movie was very brutal in that sense.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that it was reasonably good. I'm glad, to be honest, because I'm tired of these franchises that whether I don't champion Halloween necessarily and go out and just fucking. Sorry, I was trying to get my leg underneath my other leg. I'm fat as hell. I'm not like a Halloween guy. I'm more of a Friday the. No, I'm not a Friday the 13th. I'm a Freddy Krueger fan. I'm like a Terrifier, Texas Chainsaw. That's the kind of shit that I like. And I'm glad that they did something right on this franchise for a change because there's been a lot of mistakes in the franchise, like a lot. Like they've got 3 movies that are worth watching, and that's fucked up for something that's got like 10 movies out. Yeah, it is like watching a White Zombie video versus listening to the song. Very much like that, actually. But I don't know.
That's gonna have you excited for the new movie. You're gonna want to go watch it.
I was gonna go watch it anyways because I'm an asshole and I wanted to go. Fuck this
I'm
movie.
sure we'll all go watch it together again.
I have to see it.
I hope it's better than Halloween Kills.
It can't be worse, right?
The bar's pretty low. But I think that I don't know. It was just nice to enjoy it. That's all it is. It was nice to enjoy it because oh goddamn, that shit's awesome actually. But you know, I'm honestly tired of bagging on shit, dude. Like, I like this stuff, so bring me some good shit and quit telling me fucking Black Phone's awesome, man. Fuck that movie, dude. Like, I'm just so tired of hearing it. I don't know. Bring me some good shit to the table, please. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I do.
I was
feel
pleased
like
that it was good. I'm glad I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that style of horror movie, I feel it kind of had a little bit of a resurgence over the last, like, I don't know, 10 years or
Wait,
so.
which kind are you talking about?
Just like kind of more mainstream slasher type stuff. Like, I mean, it kind of died off in like the 2000s or something like that, and kind of started coming back.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of died off again a little bit.
It kind of has.
You know,
we're getting more stuff like the Black Phone now. That's
like
more. That's where it's leaning towards, like, super thriller.
Yeah, like
horror.
more tame stuff. Like, what other one was? Shit, I can't think. I know there's another one that was like kind of tame. Whatever.
From this year.
Yeah,
can't think of one this year.
But yeah, like I feel like you're either gonna get corny, malignant Halloween Kills type stuff, or you're gonna get the A24 side of stuff.
Yeah, it sucks because I don't like either of those options.
Yeah, so if you don't like either of those things, then
it sucks because they can only give us one Psycho Goreman every couple of years, because if they did it often, it would. Well, I mean, I love that movie, and I think you guys liked it enough.
Yeah.
Like, it would be terrible to have that movie come out every 8 months, man, because it would not be good after a while. I would get tired of that. Yeah. So as much as I want more of it, because all this other garbage is coming out, I have to just sift through the bullshit to get to the gems, because it's worth the work. If I want to be honest about it, I watched Malignant. I own that fucking movie because I wasn't quite sure at the end of the day if I was going to stick to my initial opinion. I've only watched it the second time. I'm not watching it again for some time, dude, because it wasn't the end of it was so fucking bad that it just ruined the whole first part of the movie. And so, and the first part wasn't, amazing. It was okay, but like, geez Louise, you know what I watched? That this is gonna piss some people off. I watched the latest Friday the 13th movie, the fucking remake, right? Yeah. That's probably the best one in the whole franchise, dude. It's just a good slasher movie. Like, people don't like it, and I can't really tell them why. Maybe because Jason looks a little different or something. That's probably. I'm not a big fan of that franchise. I like it, okay, but I don't have shirts and shit, But it was just fine, bro. It was way better than the Freddy Krueger one, man. My goodness, that movie was bad. But I don't know, dude. Like, I'd rather have that kind of shit come to the table where it was just a bunch of kids fucking in the woods getting killed. Like, cool, man. Like, I can deal with that, man. Like, don't give me the corny dialogue of the evil dies tonight bullshit. I don't want some weird thing that you tell me later on you did on purpose campy when it wasn't done intentionally campy. Dude, don't give me that shit, man. You made a serious movie and it turned out to be terrible, and then you're gonna tell me you did it on purpose? Come on, man. Fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
James Wan, you're better than that. Fucking do better, man.
Yeah. The other new one I was thinking of was Prey, which I know we all kind of liked. But it was kind of tame.
Even
wasn't as tame as Black Phone.
No, but even in my review of that, I said there's as much to dislike as there is to like. I liked it, but I don't love it.
Yeah, it was just a little tame, a little
great concept. It doesn't really.
Yeah, the execution was a little bit lackluster.
Yeah,
I had high hopes for that one too because the trailer made it look so awesome. Had I realized that it was a Disney-owned property, I just didn't even think about that. I would have gone in. I still would have watched it, but I would have had much more tempered expectations. So when I went in, I wouldn't have thought I was going to get spines ripped out, but I didn't think about that. So I was thinking like, oh, this is going to be brutal. And then it just kind of wasn't. There was a couple dude, Josh, every time you said something about the CG animals, I was like, yes, high five, bro. That shit was so dumb. Like, it was unnecessary. We didn't need it there.
I've seen a bit more about the movie. They did a lot of practical stuff. So it's kind of confusing to me why it all looked so like they must have they had a real bear. Like the Predator had a prosthetic.
The Predator actually looks really good.
But
there was quite a bit of stuff to like about the movie. It just
I found at times it looked cheesy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought the Predator looked awesome in it, but dude, there was some cool shit. And that girl is drop dead gorgeous to me. So like,
and she was really good.
And having her, she was good at what she did. She's very pretty, and the Predator looked cool. There was some cool ideas, but there was just so many things where you're like, okay, good. What? Why? Good. Anyway, good. What? Huh? And so like that's what I was just like. Right when I get back into the swing of it, I got disappointed a little bit, and I was like, oh well, it wasn't that big a deal. So there was enough not big a deals to make it kind of a meh, experience. But I'm not hating on it. I liked enough to probably watch it again. You know.
Yeah,
I hope they learn.
Sorry.
I hope they learn the right lesson from it, though. Because the concept of it is so cool. Like, just drop the Predator in. Like, people are saying it online already. Like, drop him into samurai times. Yeah. Japan and
let's go
crazy stuff like that. Like, just it doesn't have to follow any timeline. Just make a cool movie.
Yeah, like gladiator type shit or samurai type shit.
So many different things.
Yeah.
Yes, and they can make 100 of those, and I would watch all of them.
Yeah, and if they just gotta do them well. I was gonna say about this one, like they kind of put like a sheen over it that just kind of detracted a bit from what Predator should be and kind of gritty.
Also, Predator should be rated R to me.
I agree.
I guess it was rated R.
It was.
But it just didn't feel like it was rated R.
Yep.
No,
it felt Disney. You take out a couple bloody moments that it would have been a PG-13 easily. Yeah. It's just
wait, was it rated R?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I realized that as I was saying it. It was because in my memory it feels like PG-13, but there is a couple of moments that I guess made it R. But yeah, it doesn't feel nearly as.
We're not doing this right now. We're staying on task. You're killing me with this shit. But
it doesn't feel nearly as gritty as the Arnold movie.
Interesting. I didn't. Yeah, no, dude. Hey, look, man. I about drove to this dude's house to fight him over this shit because he said that it was the best Predator movie that was out, and I was like, "You're telling me this is better than Predator 1?" And he's like, "Way better." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? It's not better than Predator 2." Fuck, I hate people sometimes.
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh, it makes me so mad when people say just factually incorrect shit, bro. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm gonna have a heart attack, bro.
Don't do that.
It's getting a lot of love, and it's not bad. I enjoyed it, but
no. That's
it could have been
issue
better.
With it is that I enjoyed it okay, but stop telling me it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And it's better than a classic,
I mean, come on.
Classic action movie, like a all-timer. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, it was just like how when Malignant came out, and I kept hearing that it was that they were telling me it was like Basket Case, which, dude, I will fight somebody over that. It's not like Basket Case, my dude. What are you talking about? But they were saying that it was what are they calling it? I heard instant classic a lot. I heard just these things that were well, pump the brakes, dude. Explain why. And they don't have an explanation other than, well, it was like a sequel to Basket. No, dude, you heard that from a guy who heard that from a guy who heard that from a guy that watches movies that I watch. The fuck out of here. You've never even seen Basket Case. What are you talking about? If somebody tells me that it's like that movie, that's how I can tell that they either
people
have seen
that
it once,
read the synopsis of Basket Case but haven't seen it.
That's exactly what they are doing. And they're reading this little write-up on it and going, oh yeah, boom. And it's it's not the same thing, dude. So, and then to tell me that the action sequences didn't look all computer generated. What are you talking about? They literally look like a video game cutscene. They were bad.
Yeah.
But Josh, it's your time to pick a movie this week. What are we watching?
Okay, yeah. So
I don't like the way this is coming out.
I'm on the so I had something picked out for the last couple of weeks, and it was on Tubi, and they just yesterday took it off.
What was it?
So it was Pulse, the Japanese.
I own that movie. I'll watch Pulse.
I think I'd own it too.
Okay.
I have a copy at the store. I can bring to the movie theater tomorrow, Josh.
No, I own it also.
Oh, okay.
I bought it on the last Arrow sale. I didn't know if y'all had it, and I didn't want to make Hugh have to pay for it if he didn't have it. So,
well, that's you gotta pay your dues, Hugh. He spends a lot of money on dumb nonsense anyway. So do I.
Okay, so if y'all are okay with that, we'll just pick that. I had a backup, but we can.
No, we can go and post that. I own it and have not watched it. I don't think. I can't remember. I feel like I've watched it, but every time I look at it, I'll go, I don't think I've seen this. But I feel like I have. So, But I mean, I can get my copy to Hugh as soon as I watch it. It don't matter to me now.
Okay.
We'll make sure he gets it. If he doesn't want to actually buy it, doesn't have to.
Cool.
But
if we all three have it, then one of us can get it to him.
Yeah,
I actually live like 5 minutes away from him, so I could probably bring it to him.
I mean, he's the new guy. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna haze Hugh as long as I can. Fucking. Yeah. Y'all watch anything else this week?
I watched Village of the Damned since we skipped
the Carpenter movie.
Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
It was part of the triple feature you skipped out on. And we all left after the second movie. It was the third movie, so I finally went back and watched it. It was
tomorrow's They Live. I better get off on time to go watch that. I'm gonna pop in there either way, dude. If I get off at 10:30, I'll be late. I'm watching that movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just completely. I was like, what's playing tomorrow? I didn't know. You said Carpenter, and it reminded me of tomorrow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was decent. It wasn't as bad as what I was kind of afraid it might be, but it wasn't too good either.
It's 90s Carpenter.
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I expected.
Yeah. It was fine. Like it's like if you haven't watched it yet and you want to go through Carpenter stuff, man, it's good enough to give a watch.
Am I the only person that doesn't really do that? The only director that I've ever watched all of his movies is Quentin Tarantino. I don't really care about that stuff. Like, is it pretty normal for people to latch on to directors and really enjoy their stuff and watch their whole catalog? Because I don't understand that.
Well, do you ever read a book from an author and be like, I want to go read his other books?
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but has that ever happened before?
I guess
more than once. Like, because to me, I correlate those things.
Yeah, definitely. See, I don't. I look at books and movies very differently. But I see your point, though.
You see, we see movies differently.
Yeah.
You see them more from entertainment, and I'm like, when I watch this, I'm looking at it through the artist's eyes. Like, I see most movies obviously, like, I
wouldn't even be able to come up with that sentence.
Exploitation and stuff like that. There's, they're not thinking about it as like a piece of art. But
hey, man,
a lot
you
of
don't know
movies,
that, Josh.
Well, some are, some
I'm definitely talking shit, but yeah.
But most things that I watch, there is a lot of thought going behind that. So it's a lot of every scene there's a lot of artistic choices going on. So when
I understand that. I just don't.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being like, yo, this guy made this. Like, okay, like I'll use Lee Child as an example. He does the Jack Reacher stuff, right?
Yeah.
For anybody does, some people may not know who that is. When I first read the name Lee Child, I had no idea that was a dude. So he did the Jack Reacher stuff, right? That's probably the only book that I read and immediately wanted to read that guy's other books. Even with like Mickey Spillane, I accidentally read a bunch of his shit. Like, it wasn't like I was looking for crime novels and it just happened to be his were available. And so that's why I was asking, because I would never have even put those two things together. Movies and books, like, oh, did you read a book by an author? I mean, to me, it's a little different. I don't know. Yeah.
Or we could say about the music.
I knew you were going to say bands because I almost said bands.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's actually a better analogy. Like, if you listen to something from a band, you want to go listen to the rest of their work. It's like, there's definitely.
Yeah. And I don't do it with all directors, Cronenberg, John Carpenter. I gotta really be into their stuff, or they have to have.
I wasn't trying to like have an argument or disagreement about it. I just with directors, mainly because with music, you get into a style of music, you generally create that kind of music throughout your career. There's a few exceptions, but mostly that's how it goes. With books, the synopsis is pretty easy to read on the back of the book. It's probably going to be just like the synopsis says. And if it's a crime book, but with the director, man, just use Cronenberg as an example. Shit, man. There was movies of his I had no idea were his because of the fucking style of movie they were. I wouldn't want to go watch his movies because they were his movies and then get that out of it. I'd be fucking mad. Like, I don't know. It's just, to me, I look at it different, I guess. I don't know. I was just curious because I hear it frequently enough from you guys about diving into a director's work. Again, I wasn't trying to argue. I don't really care. I don't have an opinion other than do it. But I was just curious because I don't talk to many people about movies in depth like I do with you guys. So I have to get my opinions from y'all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd probably do that more than anybody else does.
Yeah, no, you're definitely the guy I would go to about a director. I would ask you, hey, have you seen this stuff? And if you had, I would assume you'd seen at least two. If he was somebody that made 2 movies. I guess there's some new people out there, but I mean, it's becoming a thing with Eggers, and who was the other guy that did something right around the time Eggers did?
Ari Aster.
Ari Aster. They're doing that where it's becoming like, oh, they made it. You go watch it at least the first time and check it out. But like, interesting, man. Movies. I guess I just look at movies so fucking different, man. I don't use because like my music. That's more of a lifestyle thing for me, man. I've listened to the same stuff because it's the way it's just in me. But with movies, I literally check out, dude. I'm like fucking. I'll leave me at the door. I'm gonna go sit in here and watch a movie and not think about nothing else. And I just want to fucking laugh, chuck it up, and fucking go about my day. So I guess if you watch movies for a different reason than that, because I know a lot of people that don't watch them for that reason. I mean, shit, I don't even really think you watch them to just entertain yourself. It's like research sometimes for you, you know.
Yeah, it depends. So like, sometimes I am just tired and want to watch something funny or something, something entertaining. But yeah, most of the time I want something.
What is Witchboard? Sorry.
No, most of the time I'm looking for something that's like engaging.
Yeah.
I
like engaging it sometimes too. I definitely have to get it a little less than you would want it because, man, if it's too heavy, that's the thing though. If it's a heavy movie, if it's slowly paced, I'm gonna be out of it pretty quick sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just something I was curious about. I don't really have a negative or positive opinion on it, really. And I didn't mean it sound like I did if I came off that way. I just was curious.
No problem.
I've contemplated it, but I've actually thought about it though, because I've never done that about a director. Like except for Quentin Tarantino, but that's because he's got a very specific style, and there is no movie he's going to make that it's not a Quentin Tarantino movie. It may have a different subject, but it's going to be a Tarantino flick. And
he specifically designed his career to be sort of like every film is an event.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
So,
but like he's the only one, and I love a lot of directors. There's a lot of guys I really fuck with out there, and I just can't recall ever going, oh, I'm going to go back in and that's really more of what I was trying to figure out is like, because it's like an active, I'm going to go get into this guy's filmography versus, oh, he made it, I'll watch it. I think those are different. I think, oh, it's by this guy, I'll go check it out versus like, I'm going to go dig in and find his stuff that I didn't know about before. That's really what I should have said like that. But
yeah, my problem is that I'm a completely too, so I'll go watch all the like subpar movies that somebody made.
I've noticed that you do that, and I don't know how you do it because because in the same breath they'll be like, yeah, I don't have time to waste on this other movie, Randall, and I'm like, but
yeah, I definitely draw. I think that's where Josh and I differ. Is I definitely draw the line. I'll go look at a director and pick 2, 3, however many of their best.
Yeah,
and then I'll probably avoid the lesser ones.
That is the problem with being a completist, and I'm glad I don't have that issue because I don't. I don't have the completist thing going on, but I have a collecting problem. We all do, but like where Josh has this like itch he's got to scratch, where he's like, shit, there's 6 movies in this guy's catalog. I've only got 5 of them, and the other one's on DVD. Of course it is, and so he's like, whereas I'm just like, no, if it's a good movie, I need to get it on my shelf. But
I mean, I definitely had that too. Like I'm trying to get all the Carpenter movies. I'm trying to get all the Cronenberg movies.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't like their catalogs enough for that.
A few others, but
I like Cronenberg quite a bit. But Cronenberg, it's really 50-50 with me.
There's probably a few Cronenbergs you're not going to care about. At all. Yeah,
the newer ones specifically. I mean, like the Robert Pattinson, really bad.
That's one. That's like the one I haven't finished.
Cosmopolis, is that right?
Yeah.
Never watched it.
I love Robert Pattinson. I want to kind of watch that just because he's in it. But is it worth me not watching?
It's supposed to be pretty bad.
I'm gonna go back and finich it at some point.
I'll wait till you watch it then.
I watched like 30 minutes of it. I was like, I'm not feeling this. I turned it off.
That's awesome.
And his last movie before Crimes of the Future is pretty bad.
I mean, Crimes of the Future wasn't great. In my opinion. I need to rewatch it still, though. I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I started rewatching it today. I got busy and had to pause it. But
you like that one quite a bit, right? I can't remember exactly what y'all said about it.
I like it a lot.
Okay,
yeah, I did too.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it felt more like stuff that y'all would dig more than me, though.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, it's like more, it's more like prime Cronenberg for me. Like it has more in common with the Videodromes and the Brood and the Fly and stuff like that than it does.
I haven't said this to y'all yet because I sort of feel like I don't have the authority to say it because I'm not a big fan of his.
Yeah.
So there's less. I've seen less of his movies than y'all, but I've seen enough to where I can say this and trust you'll at least understand what I mean by this. I'm not actually trying to say something really fucking rude, even though it sounds rude. It felt to me like a guy trying to make a Cronenberg movie that just happened to be Cronenberg. It didn't really. It felt like it got to the where his shit goes, and it's I'm good. It didn't go like. I don't really know how else to explain it. I felt like I was going to get something more out of it than it was there. It was very slow to me, and I want to rewatch it because I want to make sure.
It feels like the same guy, but a much older,
maybe that's what
guy.
it is.
Like
maybe that's what it is.
It's not.
It felt like imitation more than the real thing to me, but again,
I mean, there's some wild ideas in that movie, but it's not going as absolutely insane as some of the earlier.
I think with the ideas, I'll take the ideas, but give me the visuals too with it. Like the ideas, like there was a lot of stuff that they could have done that they didn't do. There's a lot of, I don't know. He's a weird guy. So, I mean, again, I need to reiterate, I am going to rewatch that movie and I don't have a concrete opinion on it. I just was kind of a little bit.
Yeah. There's movies of his that like, it taken me time to warm up to too, because it's like, even if I didn't like it, I'm like, he's got such a weird perspective on things. It's like it's such a fascinating lens. Like I've never seen anyone look at things and actually ask, very interesting questions.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is some of them aren't very good, but they're interesting and they're unique. And even if they're not the best movies,
I kind of like the fact that there's sort of rough around the edges and they don't always totally make sense, but you can see the thought process behind it, and there's something really cool there behind it.
I can appreciate that.
I kind of enjoy
that.
Yeah,
and they're original. They're not freaking Halloween 8 and every other reboot and sequel and prequel. And
so I don't understand the hate on all the sequels and prequels and remakes, man. Every fucking movie that I've ever seen in my life reminded me of something else, except maybe like 6. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is a remake, except maybe the Cronenberg stuff's got some originality. But even this movie, I said, reminds me of a Cronenberg movie. There's not everything.
Yeah, but you can't really compare it to anything else but his own movies. That's the thing. There's something to be said about that.
I'm not going to 100% agree with that, but mostly, yeah. You know what people fucking hate that I have figured out recently that I can do, and it's really made my life a lot easier, is that on Monday I could say this movie is a turd. On Tuesday I can wake up and go, never mind, I like it. Okay. People do not like that.
Yeah.
Hey man, 2 years ago you said this movie wasn't very good. Yeah, 2 years ago it wasn't very good. I watched this afternoon, liked it quite a bit actually. And that's why I rewatch shit like Crimes of the Future, because who knows, man? I rewatched fucking Snowpiercer 2 hours plus, man. Watched it, liked it just fine. So, and I legitimately did not like that movie for a few years. I hated it. I didn't understand why it was getting so much praise. I didn't like it. And I'm also the kind of guy that if something that I watch, I'm either lukewarm on it or I don't like it much. The more I hear how great it is, because I already have either like a different opinion or like a very mute one. And I'm like, well, no, I don't. No, I mean, I can understand if you're like, yeah, it was pretty good. That I can understand. But a movie that I look at and go, that was very poorly made. And then I hear 300 people tell me it was just the best thing I've seen all summer. It makes me fucking hate it. And I don't know how to control that. I don't think that I can. It's just my reaction to something. So, people do not like it when you change your mind. And they're like, what you said 3 years ago has to be your opinion forever. And I always tell them, I didn't like mustard when I was a kid. I like it now. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are kind of almost like the opposite of that. If something comes out and starts getting some decent buzz, I feel like everybody's just going to jump on the bandwagon. Or if something comes out and it starts to get kind of like universally disliked, people just jump on the bandwagon and it just becomes just whatever the popular.
That's kind of what I was almost talking about a little bit too, is because that's what makes me have these conversations. Is I'll watch something and because I don't, me, man. If I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it, and I don't care what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
So I tend to rewatch movies later on because, especially with my two fucking best friends, man. Like, why would I not want to watch something with y'all again and give it another shot? Now, do I want to watch it 4 more times? I don't know, maybe, but probably not. Let me give it at least one more chance. Shit, I sat through The Exorcist without anybody asking me to do so. I was trying to see if I liked it. Like I'm cool with changing my mind. It doesn't matter. I had to get over that shit. When we started this show, that's not how I behaved. It's not how my mind worked. It was different. I've had to figure out that that's cool. You can do that, man. I've had to get over myself and just give things another chance. And, you know, the bandwagon's cool and all, but it's just a litmus test, man. You just, oh, is it any good? I don't know. I don't trust that shit anyways, man. I don't listen to fucking reviewers. I'm not a reviewer. I just talk about movies, man. If I say a movie sucks, did I tell you not to go watch it? No. Go spend your time doing whatever you want to do. I don't give a fuck. It's your time to waste, man. I don't give a shit.
Except for Bad Milo.
Yeah, please don't watch that. Like, do not blame that on me. Like, don't do that. But like, so many people out there get so upset, and I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I'm not saying that I'm not, but like, I don't ever tell somebody that they change their mind that they're dumb for it. That's crazy to me, man. I've never said, "Hey, man, check out Rancid," and they're like, "Yeah, not for me." And then a year later, like, you know what? I checked out their albums. And I actually do like it quite a bit, and I was like, "Ah, fuck you." No, dude. I'm like, welcome to the club, my guy. Like, it's. I don't know, man. I've gotten a lot of shit for changing my mind about something, and I'm like, dude, you were mad because I didn't like it. I like it now. Now you're mad. Fuck you. Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, some of my favorite stuff, like I didn't watch it or listen to it.
I've been waiting for Josh to call me out on that, to be honest with you.
For the first, like, you know, my favorite band, Coheed and Cambria, or some of my favorite movies. Like, I didn't love them the first time I heard them. I may not have necessarily disliked it, but well, I mean, you might listen to something and go, "Yeah, that's okay." Then you hear it once or twice again, and you're like, "Okay, that's not so bad." And
it's happened to me more with music than movies, but yeah,
definitely more so for music for me too.
Most of my favorite movies, I had to watch them more than once.
Yeah,
before I loved them. You know,
yeah.
Well, I might like something, or I might be like, I don't really know how I feel about that. Like a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson, actually, like. I had to watch it more than once, and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, this really opened up for me," you know. But yeah.
Well, like, excuse me, I'm sorry. I have 3 very distinct and important examples of me changing my mind on something. Evil Dead. Did not like it when I first watched it, but I watched it as a young kid, and I just didn't get it. That's my explanation for that. The Thing. I wasn't going to like that movie until I ended up liking it because it's paced very slowly, but it's deliberately done that way. Mm-hmm. I didn't like those kind of movies when I first watched it. I figured it out that's exactly why I didn't like it. It had nothing to do with anything else. It was just slow. Slow doesn't mean bad. It just means slow. I didn't used to like those kind of movies. I couldn't get into them. I was into either slashers or like straight up high octane, action shit, And if it was slow, I wanted it to be more of a creepy slow. Like this was a slow, I don't know. Creepy is probably not the right word, but anyhow, I later got into The Thing, and those are 2 of my favorite movies. But the biggest one is Terrifier. Dude, that's like my favorite movie. I did not like Terrifier when I watched it the first time. Didn't even finish it. Like, I got through 30, 40 minutes of it, was like, nope, turned it off. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, because when I watched it the second time, I wanted to punch myself in the fucking face for doing that. I was like, what the fuck? So, Jurassic Park is in my horror section in my personal collection. It's a fucking monster movie. How's it not a horror movie? Bunch of monsters chasing kids around. It's a horror movie. But to me, okay, people, calm down.
Yeah, the new ones.
Like, no, it's not.
The new ones, not so much.
I haven't watched it, and I will not watch it.
Yeah, the original.
Never heard of it.
The original for sure.
But yeah, man, changing your mind is okay, people. Go out and watch some shit that you've already watched once and didn't care too much for, and just see if your opinion changes. Especially when you hit like, let's say from age like 15 to 25, all the shit that you didn't like back then, when you hit like 30, start like make a list and start checking them off whenever you have some free time and watch 1 or 2 of them every couple of months and just see if you can, because you're probably going to find some gems out there that you really thought you didn't like.
Yeah.
Like The Thing, I can't tell you how much I did not think I was going to like it when Josh was like, no, dude, it's like my favorite fucking horror movie. I was like, what? It sucks. And then I watched it again and was like, oh shit, got to eat crow with this one. It's like, it's literally on my top 10 movies of all time. I love that fucking movie. So, it's people don't like to swallow their pride and be like, okay, I was wrong about this, or I had a bad day, or I was being stubborn, or whatever it is, man. Dude, your opinion can change. Just like your taste buds, folks.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. All right, fellas. I got a long weekend ahead of me, so I probably won't be talking a whole lot. Maybe a little bit. They're not as strict as I was expecting with the phone thing, which is kind of nice because I got a family to worry about, so I can't have my phone turned off and in my car. But I will be very busy this weekend, so if you don't hear from me as much, then thank your lucky stars, I guess. But cool, man. Pulse, right? Japanese.
Pulse.
Right? Japanese?
Yep.
Another Japanese. I'll do these every week.
Oh, I couldn't remember if it was Japanese or Korean. I love Korean shit too, though. So
Yeah.
I was just making sure. Hell yeah. Okay, anybody want to talk about anything else before we go?
I'm good.
I don't
Cool.
think so.
All right, everybody. Pulse Japanese version next week. We'll be back on Thursday night. Hopefully, if anything happens on my schedule, I will let everybody know the moment I do, which will be about Tuesday afternoon is when I get my schedules. So I won't know till Tuesday, but we will see. They're probably gonna want me all weekend, so I'll probably be fine on Thursday next week.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Have a good night.